Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here to this dedication to you, a dedication to you of all the hard work you put in, everything that you contribute to this world with all of your light, your love, and all of your caring. So, this is for the health of you, creating value for you and your clients. And so, I am so grateful that you are here tonight. So, let's go ahead and open up this dedication to you. And the dedication is as I admire each and every one of you so much. I know what it's like to be a massage therapist and give of your time, and that you give even when you have nothing left to give. But we still continue to show up. We still continue to give and give and give. But this comes at a cost to us so many times. We give so much until there's nothing left in return. So we do experience that burnout. Burnout is a real thing. It's not something that we can sugarcoat. It happens. Frustrations are real. Body fatigue is real. So tonight, in honor of you and dedication to you, I would like to open up the lines tonight to hear your voice, to hear your pain points. So if you'd like to share your story, just go ahead and raise your hand. Athena, I see that you're already unmuted. So what is it that you are currently doing? And what is your pain point? Let us hear how we can fill up your cup.
Okay. Right now I'm a caretaker of a gentleman who's 79 years old and he has dementia. And it's very frustrating. It can be very frustrating, like just a couple of days ago, repeats the same stories that we've done over and over and over. And it can hit you at any time because I'm living in the house with him. And so I could just be getting up to get a glass of water at 6 in the morning, and there he is, and he's ready to talk for 2 hours. And the other day I just had to say, listen, I'm sorry, but I really just don't want to talk right now. Like and it's just very hard. It's very frustrating. And he kept talking and he caught me like several times. And so finally I just went to the beach and cried because I
Oh.
needed to get it out, that how frustrated I was. But when I came back, I felt better. So
Well, bless your heart. So, what I hear you saying is that you're not having that personal space. And personal space is very critical when it comes to filling up our cup. It's not about having people all around us doing that for us. There's something within inside of us when we have that alone time that we can recharge our battery. Does that make sense?
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I want to commend you too, because so many of us would have just gone on and let it happen. But instead, you put the boundary up of like, oh, you know what? I just really can't talk right now. I just don't really feel into it. And then the other thing, bless your heart, it's just really wonderful that you did it because the ocean is a great place for me as well as the mountains, is that you went to the beach. It was so cleansing. All of those negative ions out there just filling your soul right back up. And guys, there's nothing wrong with crying. Sometimes that is a really good way to fill up our cup, is just release all of that frustration and tension. And it's not that we're superhuman, but people see us as that we're superhuman, right? That we've got these unimaginable powers. So thank you for sharing, Athena. And we honor your love and light and grace tonight. Dr.
Thank you.
Brenda, you're welcome.
Well, hello.
Hello.
There's a couple of things here. One being in conversations that I have with therapists is the affordability of moving forward. What happens if something happens to you, to the therapist, and they are the sole provider of their income? There's nothing else coming from anywhere else. What are you going to do? I've had therapists that I know personally in hospitals, got sick and they wind up in the hospital for a few days. Where is that money going to come from? It's borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. So you get in a situation of being behind with your debt, and it's not a good feeling. So you're trying to climb yourself out. And oh, by the way, if you have a space that you're leasing, you still got to make that rent.
That is so
So
true.
it's difficult for them. I mean, I myself, I just got back from a trip, and that's why I'm sounding froggy, because it was like, oops, I forgot to put my mask on the plane. Not that I forgot, I actually forgot it at home. And I have a personal air purifier that I wear as well, but something slipped by, and I'm grateful that I know how to take care of myself. But at the end of the day, it could have turned into something very ugly, and not being able to provide, my clients with their expected service. So it's really, and when we don't think beyond that, we're in the here and now, and we need to let that go of thinking just about today. And I know the word says not to, don't worry about tomorrow, but you use common sense too. So,
This is so true.
you think about, how do I move forward if something were to happen to me? How am I going to, if you got kids, how you going to feed the kids? You got rent, how you going to pay the rent? And there are so many variables there that impacts us as therapists in order to move forward financially. It's like, what am I going to do? So
That's so true. Yeah.
that's a biggie.
Well, and I think you speak for many therapists that go through that, but you're right. They typically won't think about it until something happens. Just
Happens,
like the
right?
other day, I had a massage therapist say, I've broken both of my wrists. I don't know. I need to start a GoFundMe. Okay, well, we've got GoFundMe's all the time everywhere, but nobody feels good about it, and GoFundMe gets rich off of it, right?
Hmm.
So I don't want to digress. You spoke for all therapists that go through this, is that they want to give up their time. They want to do what they love. But in some cases, they feel like that this is all there is. This is all that I can do. And that's what we want to be able to do, is to hold the space for those therapists too. And we want to open up to the idea that there are other possibilities for them. Can we all hold that space for them right now? Is that we hold
Absolutely.
that space, that there are other possibilities out there for them, and that if you're like Dr. Brenda and you got a little croaky and you can't see your clients for a couple of days, is that there are other opportunities out there. So, and many times therapists get to the point where they've reached that burnout, and then they have to stop, and then they feel guilty, and then there's this vicious cycle that occurs, just like you said, is how am I going to take care of my bills this month? And many of us as therapists experienced this back in 2020 when we all had to shut down. Texas definitely shut us down. So we didn't just have the frustration, we now had a different kind of burnout. And this is a real kind of situation too, is that now we couldn't take care of our clients, because all therapists, their heart is in their clients. They care about their clients. They want to take care of them. And then the body fatigue for the massage therapist is she's used to going, 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 going. And then she's been told stop. I can tell you, I felt the impact. It was like hitting a brick wall. So we'll hold that space for all of you therapists that are watching this and that are here tonight, is that we send you love and light, and allow your mind open to an even bigger idea about yourself, of creating wealth beyond the table, creating wealth beyond your hands, creating wealth beyond just your time in exchange for money. Okay? We're just going to leave you with that thought. Thank you, Dr. Brenda. All right, who else would like to share?
Hmm.
Linda, I think you're unmuted. Are you looking to? Yeah, you're unmuted.
I'm on. Yeah, I'm unmuted. Well, um, as a nurse, uh, basically the burnout comes from working in a hospital or I should say working in a facility where basically you are understaffed and underpaid.
So true.
Basically, and there's many times there's just really no way of getting out of it, mainly because of that. Many hospitals are under constraints for hiring people. So even though, the policy is that you should have one nurse for so many patients, this sort of thing, you have more patients than what you really should have. And, you're constantly fighting against the fact that there's not enough staff to go around to take care of the patients. And so there's a lot, the burnout is real, and there are the frustrations, of having to deal with that. And then the body fatigue is very real also, because, so many of the staff have to work 12-hour shifts.
Right.
And that turns into like 13 and 14-hour shifts. And then you come back and you have to do exactly the same thing the next day.
Yep.
And, the frustration is there because you have to come back and do it all over again. And and what do the people that are in management say? Well, we're sorry, but, they won't say it, but, the money is the bottom line.
Right.
And so we would love to be able to get you some help, but we can't really do it. And so forth. So, and so you give a whole lot, because nurses are caring individuals, and they're nurses for that reason.
That's exactly right.
But you get to a point where you say, I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah, your cup is empty. Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just with nurses. We're going to honor nurses tonight while we're here on this call. We're going to send them love, light, and grace as well, because we know exactly what they're going through as massage therapists, nurses, and daycare teachers. Teachers are experiencing the same thing that you're talking about, Linda, is that they're understaffed. I still remember when they said, well, we used to have 12 students. Now we're going to have 18 students. Then we had 24 students with one teacher. And it all came down to money, right? But money is the trap of the matrix, because we've become dependent on having it for our freedom, rather than being able to see that freedom was our natural born gift. We have the ability to have that freedom. But when we're burned out, we can't think that way. When we're frustrated, all we want is the frustration to stop. It's hard to come up with a solution when we're so tired, when we're so fatigued, when we aren't expecting anything different, right? So let's just hold that space for Linda, because we all know what that is like. And Linda, I used to be a nurse, and I went from nursing into x-ray, and the nurses used to get upset at us because we made more money. We didn't have to do the overtime, and we didn't do the same thing every single day. We had a different variety going on. So it was one of the reasons why I chose that. But I was still just making money based on exchange for my time. If I worked 8 hours, 9 hours, or 10 hours, I only could earn that much money based on that time constraint that I was given. Right? Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it. I know there are going to be people out there that can relate. All right. So, Rosemary, did you have something you wanted to share, or did you want to pass?
No, I'll share. Be happy to. Okay, I'm not a massage therapist, but I seem to have acquired a gift from God, which is a caretaker, and I've been doing it since I was a child. And as I became an adult, more and more responsibility with family and extended family. And I can say that maybe it's with me because it's just something I'm dedicated to. It was not like I could let go. I forced myself to not only care for them and take care of them, but be with them at doctor's appointments or at hospitals every day to hear, to talk with the doctors and know you know, what was going on. Because when someone's sick, they don't hear what the doctor's saying.
True.
And I have done this for so many years. And just about a year ago, I I asked God, please let me find another way to help people.
Very
And the
good.
reason was because I put so much into the person that when they either got better or passed, my body, because I have a lot of my own illnesses, my body would break down and I would just have lost connection with family, friends, everything I usually did. I had to stop in order to take care of them and just survive on my own.
That's right.
So there's a lot when you're doing caretaking. I admire anyone that does this, no matter what level or how you're doing it, because you are giving of yourself.
Hmm.
In my case, I wasn't paid, didn't expect to be paid. But anyway, I just admire those that are willing to. I love my massage therapists, and I appreciate that they went to school and learned how to help me. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Mm, absolutely. We've just really undervalue what a caretaker goes through, right? Because you're so invested in that other person's life. So I can totally hear that. I can totally feel that you're just such a giver and that you are going to continue to give. But here's the thing that Rosemary just said is that once they passed or got better, her body suffered. Massage therapists, we're kind of doing the same thing. When we're
Mhm.
helping our clients to feel better, sometimes we do it at the risk of our own health and wellness. So thank you for bringing that up, Rosemary. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue on. And these are all real good stories. So if you're watching this recording, just stop and think a minute about where your burnout is and how's that making you feel? How are you releasing your frustration? And what's going on with the body fatigue that you're feeling? And to know that there are other options. So, burnout is real. And these are all the signs of it. So, do you ever find yourself running out of energy with everything that you're doing? I mean,
Mhm.
trouble sleeping patterns. I mean, the other day I couldn't sleep. I was up till 4:30 in the morning, and then so I guess that was Monday night, and then Tuesday I've gotten an hour sleep. I go to work out, and when I get home I just completely crash. And it's all because I love what I do. I want to help people. But sometimes I have to say enough is enough, and I have to make sure that I'm taking care of myself while also helping other people to receive what they need. That irritability or losing your temper, none of us like to do that, but sometimes it's the only outlet that we have. The nice thing is that there is hope and there is a way to catch it before it can happen. So let's dive in to some of the things that you guys have all said tonight. And I talk with a lot of people, and many of them have said everything that everybody has here tonight. And even if you're watching this, I'm sure I've heard somebody say exactly what you're going to say. That doesn't mean it's less. I'm not discounting it at all. I'm honoring you. I'm letting you know that you're not alone. But I really love this figure here because you're not alone, but we don't want to be taking everybody down with us either. But if we look at it, this is when we're okay here. We're not experiencing the burnout. Then we begin to ignore it. And now we're doing things beyond ignoring it. Now we're being open for everyone and anything. And then here we are completely set on fire. We haven't set boundaries. We're not saying no. We're extending our services. We're extending our time. We're not putting our foot down, and we're not letting people know what we need. And that's really critical. We have to talk to people and let them know what we need. So we do have hope. And you guys may not even realize this, but the hope is in your peptides. It really is. Your peptides are the communication of your whole body, your mind, all of your emotions. It regulates everything that's in there. So your peptides are signaling molecules that tell your cells what to do. And one of the ways that I can best give you an example of this is that it's going to regulate your healing. It's going to increase your immune response. It's going to help balance out your metabolism. It's going to help with brain function. So let's just put this into perspective a minute. If we can just take a deep breath in and we look at it, it's like I'm hitting that burnout. But if my peptides are working better, then it doesn't mean it gives me the reason to continue to do, but now I can function with what I need to do and have the energy to do what I need to do, but I can have clarity in my brain enough to say, okay, it's time for me to take a nap. Okay, it's time for me to close my doors. Okay, it's time for me to do something different. Because when we get into that depleted state, we are operating out of survival mode. Okay, our peptides are the peptides that help us to thrive. Okay, so if we've got all of this anxiety that's going on, that means our peptides are miscommunicating. So thinking about that, we have to think about why peptides matter for health and massage. So think about it. You guys are all talking about all of the people that you care for, that you love, that you're interacting with, and your first care is them. But then what happens to you? So this isn't just about for you. You can help your health and your client's health. And how does that happen? Well, if we're increasing the peptides in our body, the body's communication cell is it's working optimally. It's doing what it needs to do. It influences repair. It decreases inflammation. It increases recovery and energy production. So how do you think that's going to help your clients to feel, right? So if you're giving a massage and they've got all this inflammation that you're working with, now you increasing their peptides also helps you. It helps them because it's going to aid in their healing. It's going to aid in them feeling better. So support the client while also supporting you. And that means greater wound repair, greater communication. But peptides do naturally decline with age. And so what's going on here is that it does decline as we age because we've got so many toxins. We've had issues that come up that our stem cells are trying to keep us alive. So there's a little bit of a diminish there, or maybe their energy's just not moving as well. So when they begin to decline, we see a slower recovery, more inflammation, and less vitality. So the problem is the older that you get, the faster you age and the slower you heal due to a natural decline in the body's number one repair system, and it's all connected to your peptide. And that peptide helps to stimulate your stem cells. And so when you're having more aches and pains, trying to help your clients to get out of pain, but you're taking on that pain, now you can help you. But that's not all. You can also help your client before they even get off of the table. That's just super amazing. It's another way for you to be of service without having to empty out your personal reserve. So how can we support natural peptides? Well, a natural breakthrough in wellness with LifeWave X39. It's a 20-year-old company with lots of research and development. It has all kinds of studies and clinical studies that have been done that says exactly what it does. It's increasing our GHQ copper peptide. That's with the X39, and it's stimulating that peptide inside of your body, tells your stem cells, wake up, we've got work to do. So it increases strength, it reduces inflammation, rapid wound healing. How many of you have clients that really can benefit from that rapid wound healing? Increases sports recovery. Many of us massage therapists do sports massage, and we have lots of athletes that come in that we're constantly burning ourselves out on by going deeper or just working that muscle harder. And now we can make it easier for us and for the client. It restores muscle and skeletal conditions. Now, if you're working with sports performers, they're going to love you with this. Energy, vitality, joy, and stamina. We're going to be able to live life with greater motivation, more inspiration, just a greater outlook in life. And then mental clarity supports our hair quality. I love that. I've been just getting all this black color in my hair all of a sudden. I don't know where that's coming from. Skin appearance and wrinkle reduction, and so much more. But listen, don't listen to me. Where we really prove that these peptides being activated work is through all of the beautiful testimonies that we get to hear every single week. Just like with this young lady here, after 4 months of wearing this technology, nobody can believe that this is her. Kamei down here, after 9 months, she was on 10 different prescriptions for pain and other conditions. And look at the pain in her face. Guys, pain wears on us. Pain ages us. But when we get out of that pain, look at her beautiful eyes, look at her beautiful face, and then look after 2 years. So the longer that you wear this technology, the more results you're going to see, the better you're going to continue to feel. More and more things are happening inside of your body. And our studies show that, but mostly our beautiful testimonies that we hear all the time. Now, Karen down here had radiation to her face. And as an x-ray tech, I could tell you I sympathize for her, because as a x-ray tech, as a student, we had to go through radiation therapy. And so it was never a good thing when we saw our patients have these burns, but she has a burn on her face. And as you can tell, wearing this technology, there is no scarring. And even after these 3 weeks, now when you see Karen, she is just so bright and so beautiful. And look at the gentleman up front. You know, after 5 days of wearing the patch, you can hardly tell that he had a snowboard accident. And then this young man was told he wasn't going to get to go back to work for 6 weeks. He had a broken lung, ruptured lung, broken ribs, and the bruising is horrible. But after 13 days, look at this. All that bruising almost completely gone. And he was able to go back to work 3 weeks instead of waiting 6 weeks. So with this technology, there are several benefits with it. So the first few days that you begin to put this technology on you and your clients, genes begin to reset. There's more energy, greater sleep, less pain, and less inflammation. That's the number one thing that our clients begin to feel, and they praise us for it. They refer people to us. They want to know more about our magic. In 4 weeks, you've got a whole nother army that's just accumulated. You've got all these stem cells that are like, oh, where do we go? And that's where you're going to start seeing the regeneration and the repair within the cells and within the body tissues. Within 6 weeks, brain balance. Your brain becomes more balanced and it becomes more clear. In 3 months, increase in collagen. So that's where we start seeing our clients have less knee pain, less neck pain, because the collagen is filling up those spaces again. There's tissue repair that's going on in the body. And of course, the beautiful thing about collagen is that there's a reduction in fine lines and wrinkles and scars. Now, I can tell you, I'm going to be very honest with you. I love to smile. I absolutely love to smile. But I know I had this one person say, you smile too much, you're going to have all these wrinkles. And I got to thinking about it, and I thought, if my wrinkles were a sign that I'm happy and that I love life, that's okay. But I will say that after wearing the technology, lines and wrinkles that I thought were scars completely disappeared. I'm okay with my smile lines. I'm okay with the creases in my eyes because I'm not going to stop smiling. Within 6 months, you reduce heart age, and in 12 months, regeneration is noticeable. And as I said earlier, where past 12 months, you're going to see even more. where it passed 2 years, 3 years, you're going to see more. And many of you are already working with athletes and professional, or not professional weekend warriors. Some of them could be, but many of you are already working with people who are athletic and working their body. And maybe it is just pickleball on the court. It's going to help them to recover faster, and it's going to help them to perform even better. So would you like to try one of these for yourself? If you do, I want you to connect with the person that invited you. Let them know, I want to learn more. I would love to have a sample of this amazing technology. I would like to even try it with my clients. So you're invited to get back to the person that invited you to this webinar, to this recording, and just ask them, hey, I want to learn more. Do you have some more information I can share with somebody else or even have for myself? And we look forward to seeing you next Wednesday so that you can share your story with us of how you're dealing with life. Where can we hold space for you? So until next time, have a great week. Know that you are loved, and know that you do have the ability to help your clients in a bigger way while also helping yourself. So have a great night, and I look forward to talking to you next time.